Okay, so Heather, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. My hand is up.
Good to see you. So I've got your question. It says, I help autistics who avoid people but want good friends and meaningful connections, or just want to be able to talk to a stranger without gut-wrenching panic, to untangle their people issues and get more comfortable with themselves and others. I work with both autistic teens and adults, so my website currently has a lot of wording like to help you or your teen, and it's extra pages for teens, for parents, for adults. It's awkward. I'm rewriting everything now to directly address those having the issues and hope that the parents reading it will see their kids in it. Is that a good strategy? You say you need to write to the person who's paying, which is the parents, but almost half of my clients are adults paying for themselves. I'm not sure which way to go. Well, beautiful. First of all, it's extremely clear. I mean, that's a home run in my mind in terms, yeah, in terms of niche. That's what an A plus looks like. So I think this is a very easy answer to your question is I would just say on the homepage, it might be, are you autistic yourself? Click here. Do you have an autistic child? Click here. That would seem to be those are the two main categories, if I'm following correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's just, basically two different buttons that they click, which take them to a different welcoming page. And the one says, okay, so you're autistic, you struggle with making, connections with people. It's really nerve-wracking for you. Here's the thing. The other one says, okay, so you have a kid and, it's been a real blow and it's been hard. And here's how I can help your child.
Okay. So I'm doing Rebecca Tracy's Uncaged Your Business course, which has been great.
Yeah.
Um, and she's talking about like making packages with a sales page directed specifically to the one problem that you address and have like one page for each package.
Yeah.
But so do I have like two different, one for parents and one for the teen or the,
That is correct.
okay. But it's still the same package or it's not the same package?
Um, it could be the same content, basically everything in it is the same, although that's something worth considering. Might there be things you include in the package for the parents versus the package for the autistics themselves? Maybe so. So for example, you might include in the package for the parents specific parenting coaching things, or a book written for parents of autistic, like, hey, I'll be coaching your team, but here's some things for you as the parent, and those
Right.
might not be things that are included. So, but it might be basically the same package. It's just that uh, if we try to cram too much together in one sales letter, as you're
Mhm.
experiencing, it gets awkward and confusing versus two sales letters that are just lasered in on the groups. And it may be a totally identical package, but you'll have an easy, it's so funny. You'll have a much easier time selling it with the two sales letters, doing it separately. I mean, if we could do a split reality test,
Right.
where in one timeline you do the two, and one timeline you try to mash it into one, I guarantee you this timeline is more profitable.
Really?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah. There's no question.
So would my homepage basically just be like the two questions, like, are you autistic or is your kid autistic? And then,
Yeah, right. And it could be. I mean, there could be a bit more massaging on the headline, but something like, um, oh man, I mean, this is very rough. But hey, people with autism often struggle with their social skills. So you could name the overarching dynamic and
mhm,
say, if you're a parent concerned about your teen's ability to make friends or something, click here. Or if you're autistic yourself and you find it difficult to make those new connections, click here. So you could speak to the kind of bigger why, the bigger theme, the larger issue at the top. But yes, then basically very quickly it goes to one of those two things. When our homepage, to me, the most important thing on the homepage is it helps them get where they want to go quickly. They land on the homepage and they get the thing they're looking for right away. Because what we don't want is them to be confused. They get to the homepage and they have to search and like, wait, is this for me or not? Because they won't. So it's much better to just right off the top are you this, or are you this, boom, and then from there, there's the sales letter. And of course you can still have the drop down banners like blog posts and your bio and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I was trying to want to move away from the whole, I have a family package and I have a package for adults. And it's just been awkward because sometimes people aren't sure which one to pick.
Yeah. Why would they not be sure?
Well, sometimes parents come to me and they can't quite get their kid on board yet. So it's basically, I'm working with the parent. So they're like signing up for the family coaching, but
Uh-huh.
it's, I
So,
probably need to word things better and be clear.
but no, to me this sounds pretty clear. So if I'm understanding right, one is working with autistic adults. Second
Mhm.
would be working directly with a teen who wants to work on their social skills. And third, there's something about working with the parents of a teen who's not quite, yeah, bought in, or so it's more like coaching the parents on how to be a parent to an autistic child, is it?
Yeah, and I would honestly like to move away from that a little bit because it's not turning out to be a fruitful thing. Like I'm helping them with feeling better about the situation, kind of reframing what's going on, and that's been great, but it doesn't really get very far.
Okay. Well, and do you find the other two things do get further than that?
Yes,
Why is that, do you think?
because you can't coach someone who's not in the room.
Ah, yeah, got it. Okay. So
Um,
here's what I would do is I would take the family package and turn it into a DIY course, and potentially just offer it for free or sell it for very little, but use it as an intro. It's like, look, yeah, you're parents of a kid and who's autistic and it's hard, and here's some basic tips, and here's some reframing of the situation that may help it feel better. But
right.
then you don't have to work with them. And if they're wanting that, you say, I've got a great DIY course on that. Maybe I've got a Facebook group for parents that are struggling where you can support each other, and I check in from time to time. So you could create that sort of a package that has almost none of your time
Cool.
at all. Or you could do sort of what I'm doing here. You could have a monthly drop-in class for those
Mhm.
families
Right.
with the and a lot of that package could also be, how do you support your team in getting to a place where they might actually be ready for help? How do
Right.
you remove some of the barriers that might have them wanting help? How do you engage this in a way that's not pressuring them or pushing them, but
Mhm.
how do you even, and the package could be very clear, like, look, whether it's me or somebody else, there's certainly help that autistic teens can get, which just make their life more enjoyable, and
Right.
they might not even know it. And so of course be resistant to it, in all the way that any teenager would be, and maybe
Yeah.
particularly for autistic. And so then how do you help them and support them in getting ready that they might actually want some help or want some additional support? And so that could be a lot of the focus. And again, the thing is, whether it's with me or somebody else,
Right.
there's plenty of people out there. I may not be the best fit for your team, but here's some tips and things that can help you feel better as a parent.
I'm loving this. Okay. Yeah, and for the teens who are happy to work with me, I often do work, and always actually do work with their parents some, and that is very fruitful, but there has to be buy-in on both sides.
Okay, great.
So I'm loving this. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for your work. It's
Brain.
beautiful what you're doing. Thank you. Okay.